And today is a very special day because I'm so excited with our guest right now. And she is the winner of just the biggest fashion reality TV show and competition around the world, Project Runway 21. No other than the amazing, the talented, and the fierce Veejay Floresca. Veejay, welcome to Illustrado Talks.
Hi, Lalaine. Thank you for having me. It's an
We're,
honor to be
we're
here.
super excited, Veejay. Super congratulations. We were jumping for joy when we saw your win. And the conversation continues. Here at the Illustrado Talks, we go back to the advocacy that we started back in 2006 with Illustrado magazine, and that is to champion the Filipino around the world. And let this be my personal invitation to you to think bigger, lead boldly, and build forward. And today is a very special day because I'm so excited with our guest right now. And she is the winner of just the biggest fashion reality TV show and competition around the world, Project Runway 21. No other than the amazing, the talented, and the fierce Veejay Floresca. Veejay, welcome to Illustrado Talks.
Hi, Lalaine. Thank you for having me. It's an
We're,
honor to be
we're
here.
super excited, Veejay. Super congratulations. We were jumping for joy when we saw your win. You know, we were all
Thank you.
rooting for you, and I'm just so curious. How was that experience for you, VJ?
I mean, the overall experience, it's definitely one of the happiest moments of my life. It's really an honor to be able to compete in Project Runway because I mean, as you all know, I always tell people that I'm a die-hard super fan of the show.
I
So
know, right?
being able to be there, like it feels amazing.
I read somewhere that you auditioned. Was it 13 times or 11 times? You've been auditioning for such a long time, and you never gave up.
Yeah, so honestly, I couldn't really
I
count how many
I
times,
cannot imagine how
but
that must have felt. Yeah.
yeah, but it took me 13 years. The reason why I said 13 years is because I started applying for the show, Project Runway US, when I moved to the United States 2012. So that is like 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think more than 13 times because every year sometimes they do it twice because sometimes they would do All Stars and yeah, so like 13 years of waiting
How did you
and
never?
applying.
How did you never give up? I mean, was there something at the back of your head feeling like I'm gonna win this competition one day? You know, because that much years spent on auditioning, that's no joke. That's a huge amount of time for you.
Yeah, so like you said it right. I know that I can win Project Runway. I know that I can win
I
it
love
and I
that.
did. I won Project Runway. And also like if you believe in something, even though sometimes it feels like oh, it's not for me or sometimes you question yourself like what is the reason why until now, I haven't been in the show. But I'm a very positive person. I always see the glass half full instead of half empty. So for every rejection that I get from applying the show, it just makes me want to be better and improve myself. And that's what I did.
I love that. So you just kept on going and going, right? Because some people would just stop,
Mhm.
right? One, two, three
Yeah.
rejections, and that's it. Good thing you never gave up.
Yes. I'm a fighter.
I can see that. Speaking about Fighter, how was the show? Was it as spicy as we see it on TV? Was it really tough and
Yes.
people are catty and all of
It's
that?
very,
Yeah, tell us a
yeah,
bit
it's
about
very,
that.
very Yeah, so what you see on TV is technically speaking what happened in real life because it's a reality show, it's a design competition. So if you put competitive people in the show, people will really do everything that they can do to win the show. And as somebody who's been very competitive, I came in the competition with one goal, and that is to win it. So I remember during the casting process, like they asked me a lot of questions, and one of the things that I told them is that if I will be given the chance to compete, I can promise them that I will be authentic, and I did. So to me, authenticity is really important because I want people to see me who I am as a person, and
Mm-hmm.
what you see on TV is who I am as a person.
I
Like
love that.
sometimes I ask the wrong things, or sometimes I tend to really like ask questions that to other people might be offensive, but that's who I am, and I am just really like that type of person.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love the fact that you present as very soft and very humble and all of that, but you were no doormat. You were feisty, you
Mhm.
were
Yeah.
spicy. Some people were calling you a pot stirrer, which I loved.
Yeah.
Some people
Hmm.
said that you're the villain of the show, and I'm like, yes, let there be a Filipino villain in a show like this,
Yeah.
right? I love that. I truly love that because that's a different representation. You really fought your way up to the top, and we love you for that. Yeah. So
Hmm.
tell me
Exactly.
something also, taking risks, like even the final collection that you showed, or the red gown for the Wicked Challenge, you're always
Mhm.
switching up things and taking risks. Was that part of the strategy, or is it just serendipity? How did you get into that?
Definitely, everything is part of strategy. I want to be a designer. Like I know that, being in Project Runway, it's either there's a lot of designers coming in Project Runway, right? There's a lot. And unfortunately, as a super fan of the show, there are designers that you forget them. And I don't want to be the
Mm-hmm.
designer who will get into Project Runway that people forget. I want to be in Project Runway where people will remember who is
Mm-hmm.
VJ Floresca. That is my opportunity to really show who I am and for people to remember me. It's marketing, right? So to me, it's part of my strategy to create something that is risky because that's not the opportunity to play it safe. So if like, I mean, I'm just very lucky because I won the show. But if ever, let's say, I will not win the show, I want to show a collection or creation that is very risky because it's a design competition. So you don't want to send something that people will forget or you're being safe. So I'm glad that I did and it all paid off.
I mean, what's the inner dialogue, right? We've worked with a lot of designers, a lot of them are very experienced. And I know for a fact that just putting one dress can be such a big dilemma,
Mhm.
right? So, how do you
Yeah.
manage that? How far should I go to push the envelope? Or how far, should I be safe? How do you determine this should be good, at this point? How do you determine that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there should be the right balance of creativity and risk, and at the same time, I think the taste level. I
Mm-hmm.
think whether people like it or not, I think it's a taste level that I want to always keep really, really high, the high
Mm-hmm.
level of taste,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like they can call my dress not Western, they can call my dress like this, but they can't call my dress cheap, right? Like that's the
I
word
love
that I
that.
hate.
That's
Being a
another
so
one. That's another
being a
good one.
Yeah, like it's a word that I don't want to be associated with my work. And like yeah, like sometimes I'm in the bottom, but when I'm in the bottom, it's usually because they think that, like it's so out of this world or it's so kind of like not the challenge. But I've never been the bottom because my dress looks cheap.
Mm,
So again, it's very subjective, right? So for example, like the red gown from the
mm-hmm.
avant-garde challenge. Like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people saying that I should have been eliminated because it's not green. But it's like, well, color is subjective, right? So it's
Yeah,
like, but to me, it's like I want to use red because it's like all of you are using green. And I'm like, Wicked is
exactly.
not
Yeah,
just it is not just green and pink. To
exactly.
me, it's
Yeah.
like it can be red too. So I want to always stay true to who I am. But I also, of course, it's kind of like scary, especially if it's
It
like, oh my
it
God,
is.
maybe it's gonna cost me to get eliminated.
Yes.
So again, it's a risk. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I totally understand what you're going for with that red dress. And like you said, you could
Mhm.
have gotten eliminated with that, but you still went ahead with it.
Mhm.
Let me
Yes.
pick on the word cheap. I think this is a very tricky conversation to have with designers. What constitutes
Mhm.
something classy and something cheap? In VJ Floresca's vocabulary, how would you measure? What's the guidance to younger designers?
I think cheap is when um it's like it looks cheap when it looks like it's not expensive. I mean, I know it's very contradicting, but I think that there's that right sense of taste level that should be there. Of course it comes with experience. I mean, the choice of
Mm-hmm,
fabrics,
mm-hmm,
basically, I think it will all start with the choice of fabrics. So if your fabric is cheap, then sometimes it will look cheap, but not all the time. There are amazing designers where, even though the fabric is cheap, the way you design it, it looks expensive. So I think that, and also the quality,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm,
Like if the dress has a lot of puckering, if the fit is not good, then it looks cheap, right?
mm-hmm,
If
mm-hmm,
the construction is not fantastic, even though
mm-hmm,
the fabric is expensive, then it might look cheap. So I think there should be the right balance of fabric and execution and right amount of skin.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like you don't always show everything, because if you show everything, sometimes it might look cheap.
Exactly.
So it's really the right balance of everything.
And I also think that actually editing it down is a very
Yes.
important skill, right? Because a lot of the young,
Mhm.
especially the young designers, there's this tendency to keep layering on stuff, right? One style after the other, more and more skin, right? So I think editing is also very important.
Yes, editing is important.
Um, okay, being a Filipino in a global competition like this, what's your advice to the Filipinos? What do we need to do to be globally competitive? What do you think should Filipinos be
Um,
doing to step up?
Well, I remember when I was a kid, I remember one magazine, and it's a Filipino designer who is here in New York. I mean, his name is Rafi Tatenko, and he was asked a question. It's like, what is your advice to become a global designer? And then he said that you have to leave the Philippines to kind of like explore possibilities about outside the Philippines. And I think it's important to do that because I mean, I've been a designer in the Philippines for so many years, and we have an amazing fashion
Mm-hmm.
industry in the Philippines. But I think it's important for designers to also explore trying outside of Philippines, because that's how you can really see what's happening out. It's like when you step out of your comfort zone, or it's when you
Mm-hmm.
step out
Mm-hmm.
of the bubble, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
when you will really see the difference or the variety. And my advice is start traveling, because when you travel, it will open a lot of
Mm-hmm.
inspiration, creativity when you start to travel. And also try to experiment,
Mm-hmm.
because like Filipino fashion, we have this, it's all about the dresses, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all
Mm-hmm.
about the gown. But
Mm-hmm.
can we explore outerwear? Can we
Yes.
explore separates? Can we explore knitwear? Like you can, like, Filipino fashion is so it's so niched
Mm-hmm.
that I
Mm-hmm.
think the designer needs to explore other things. But I get it, because it's like in the Philippines, it's always about the gala, it's all
Mm-hmm.
about
Mm-hmm.
the event. And sometimes, when I see photos online, for example, like GMA gala or preview gala, sometimes I wonder, why is it always one color?
Yeah. And
You know
it's
what I
this.
mean?
Yeah.
Why, yeah, like why Filipinos love throwing events and they require dress code, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they
Mm-hmm.
require a specific color. It's like, why? Like,
Mm-hmm.
can
Mm-hmm.
we celebrate each other's preference by wearing different colors? Can we do that? I think Filipino is medyo matchy-matchy.
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
yeah, so maybe we need to change that. Maybe next GMA ball, everyone can wear the color that they want, or next preview ball, not just black and white.
Exactly. It's
Let's
becoming monotonous,
explore.
right?
Yes. And it
And
doesn't look good, 'di ba? So
yeah.
parang, yeah,
I love the fact that you're
let's
saying step out of the comfort zone. So it's not only
yeah.
geographically, but your mindset. Don't be stuck into
Mhm.
one thing. Um, if that's what Filipinos should be doing, what should they stop doing? And this can be a hot take. What's your pet peeve in terms of Filipino designers that, look, we have to stop doing this already? What do you think?
I think the aesthetic of two evening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, when you say two evening wear, it's like sometimes, like it's very rare when you see a designer who has a very unique point of view.
Mm-hmm.
I think that sometimes designers they try to be inspired by each other, and sometimes when you look at their works, it tend to kind of like it's very similar to another designer. And I
Mm-hmm.
think again, as a designer, we have to, like be unique. We have to kind of like discover our own point of view,
Mm-hmm.
and if we do that, I think people have more options and variety.
Of course, it will be a more exciting world, definitely.
Mhm.
How do
Yeah.
you you've competed so well, and this is not the only competition that
Mhm.
you've joined. You were also in California, I think, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
how do Filipinos stand out? Because typically Asians are considered as sidekicks, right? You see this in a lot of
Mhm.
Western media, and I'm glad
Yeah.
that your participation in Project Runway sort of shows a different representation. You were standing out. What's the advice to other Filipinos who may want to be in such competitive arenas? How do they stand out?
That's really a good question. How do you stand out? Because, like being in a competition and being in the fashion, I mean, fashion industry is a competition, whether
Yeah,
whether we like it or not, right? Like
true.
it's not just there's no camera,
Yeah.
but it's a competitive industry. And I think how you stand out is you need to stick to your own point of view as a designer. You don't necessarily need to do everything at once.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
It's like don't try to be everybody else, because if you try to be everybody else, then you lose your own point of view as a designer. And it's not good because branding is important. Like people need to know that what can you offer? Are you a minimalist? Are you a
mm-hmm,
maximalist? Are you a bohemian? Are you
mm-hmm.
futuristic? Are you sexy? Are you, those kind of things. It's like once you build that reputation and that very distinct point of view, it's it's gonna be better for your own brand and for your own business, because people will remember you for that aesthetic. Rather than try to kind of like be like all around. I think it's
Yeah,
important that you have your own master and you have your
yeah.
own niche. So yeah.
Or you go with everybody else, right? How
Yeah.
did you get so certain about your own point of view? How was
Yeah.
Yeah, how
It,
did you
it, it
get to
takes
that
years.
point? Yeah.
It takes years.
Mhm.
Like when you say it takes years, like I mean, I'm a seasoned designer. I consider myself as a seasoned designer because I've been doing this for so many years.
Yes, that's
I've been
true.
I've been a designer in the Philippines, and then when I moved in the US, I've been a designer too. So that's my job for
Mhm.
so long. So it took me years to really discover myself. And moving in the competition in Project Runway, I think that my edge is really the craftsmanship, the execution. Like all my clothes are always well made, right? It's
Mhm.
always
Mhm.
very flattering to the client because that's what I do. I've been working with a lot of people, different shapes, different sizes. So whatever type of model that you give me or whatever type of client that I work with, I know what looks good on that certain body type. And I was able to fulfill that and bring that in Project Runway.
Mm. What's the advice to the young designer right now? Sitting in the Philippines, looking at your
Mm.
win, hoping one day that they're going to be another VJ Floresca, but they're not certain yet what their point of view should be.
Okay,
What's the advice for them? Yeah.
my advice is join competitions, because it's
Mm-hmm.
when you join competitions, it forces you to think out of the box and it challenges you to be creative,
Yeah.
because that's the
Mm-hmm.
purpose of competitions, right? Because working with clients versus being in a competition, it's two different training. When you work with
Mm-hmm.
clients, it prepares you in the real world, right? Which is
Mm-hmm.
also very,
Mm-hmm.
very important. But if you join competition, it makes you competitive, and at the same time, it gives you the spotlight. Like I
Yeah.
said, there's so many designers. So it's like if you need to compete to have that spotlight, I think that the competitions are there because they
Yeah.
discover the next big designer. So if you think that you have what it takes to be the next big
Yeah.
fashion designer, then you need to join competitions because it will really help you.
And I think you will really find out what you've got, right? When you're under
Mhm.
pressure like that because you have nowhere to hide.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's not easy. So, challenge yourself. Join
I love that.
competition.
I love that.
Yeah.
You're always pushing people, beyond their comfort zone. And,
Mhm.
your win was met with so much love. I'm sure that it's not just within the Filipino community, but there are also detractors, right? And that's common. There are
Yeah.
always people who say good things and there are people who say bad
Mhm.
things. How do
Yes.
you deal with negative feedback, with negative comments?
I really don't, I really don't deal with them. So, sometimes when I read, comments like negativity, honestly, I have a very thick skin, which I'm very, very thankful for because not everybody has this kind of, armor.
Yeah.
Some people they get discouraged when they read or hear negative feedback. But to me, it's like it doesn't make sense, because to me it's like I think it's important because I know who I am. That's
Mm-hmm.
why when you know who you are, you don't get shaken by comments from random people who don't even know what they're talking about. So
That's very true.
it just really doesn't make sense. Like how can I like why would I believe someone from TikTok or why would I believe from someone on Reddit versus four iconic designers or
Exactly.
legends who chose me? It's like it doesn't make sense, right? So to me, it's like, and also they're entitled to their own opinion. So it's more of like, yeah, I appreciate your comment because that's the beauty of fashion is that it's very subjective. Some people like this and some people like this. So I would rather focus my energy to people who like this rather than this because if I focus on these people, then I'll get crazy. So yeah.
I love that. Is the Philippines ever going to see a VJ Floresca studio or a VJ Floresca atelier ever?
Yes, of course. I'm not closing the doors to
Mm-hmm.
open another brand new and better VJ Floresca New York in Manila
I
Atelier
love
because
that. I love
yeah,
that.
I love Filipinos. I mean, I'm always proud to be a Filipino, but right now I think that the goal is really to become the next, like I said, the next Christian Soriano, right? Like Christian Soriano is the Kelly Clarkson of Project
Mm-hmm.
Runway, and Veejay Floresca
Mm-hmm.
is the Carrie Underwood. So it's like
I love that. Yeah.
the goal is to really, I mean, no, I mean, kidding aside, it's like I want to become a renowned brand
Mm-hmm.
based in
Mm-hmm.
New York because, it's a hard business now that I have that price. I think that it will
Mm-hmm.
really help me a lot to focus on the business to grow it. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
in the future, I can open like a branch in the Philippines, but
Mm-hmm.
right now, the goal is to really make sure that the business in New York is really good before I branch out to another one.
I love that. Yeah, actually, I wanted to ask you about that. So, what are you planning to do with your win in Project Runway?
Yes. So definitely the plan is to focus on the business. So I'm opening I'm doing my first solo
Yes.
show New York Fashion Week in February.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for a go signal from CFDA to give me a date, but definitely it's 40 looks, so it's really crazy. But I'm excited about that. And also, I'm opening my office in my showroom in Manhattan. So I'm excited about that too.
I love that.
So yeah,
We're,
right now
we're
I'm thinking about the paint color. So I'm like, what kind of paint color? But I already
what an
have it.
amazing time. What an amazing
Yeah,
time. And please make sure that you make it available online so us who are away from the US can at least, take a look at the clothes and hopefully order some of
definitely.
those. Yeah. Uh,
Definitely.
what's inspiring for you right now, VJ? So what are you designing for? Where are you leaning towards? Who's the VJ Floresca woman or man?
Yeah, so right now, I really want to create beautiful clothing that people would want to wear. I
Mm-hmm.
think I've already surpass the experimentation process. Like, yeah, I still experiment, but
Mm-hmm.
I think my goal is really to create beautiful clothes that people would want to wear, that would make them look good and feel good. It's really
Mm-hmm.
about that anymore. Like, I've shown my creativity side and my competitive side in the show, and I
Yeah.
want to live it there. So once you go to my website, my collection, there's always that conceptual part of it because I have to show something new and continue to reinvent my brand and show unique ideas. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, it's like, what's my goal? My goal is I want to make something for you, or I want you to wear VJ Floresca. I want her to wear VJ Floresca. I want people to wear VJ Floresca. So more than anything else, it's like just make beautiful clothing for people that would make them feel good about themselves.
I'm looking forward to that collection. I'm so excited for you.
Thank
Um,
you. I'm excited.
exciting time, right? VJ, what's one fashion hot take that you firmly stand by? Is there anything that okay, this line sort of defines who I am as a designer? What is that?
Um, it's about the person wearing the dress. It's not about the dress wearing the person. I think
Mm-hmm.
that my goal is really for you to appreciate the person wearing me rather than you appreciate the dress first than the person. Like to me,
Mm-hmm.
it's like
Mm-hmm.
the dress is just the secondary. It's you. It's the client. So yeah, I want to celebrate you rather than the other way around.
Rather than the other way around. Let me ask you a personal question.
Mhm.
We've seen a peek of the real VJ during the contest.
Yeah.
What's a misconception from people that you want to correct? Is there anything that you're
Um,
hearing that people are saying this about me, but I'm not really that?
I think the misconception that a lot of people think is that like I'm the type of person who likes drama. Because I'm not. I actually like quality time, like I'm the type of
Mm-hmm.
person like like I want to spend time with people. I want to have a good time. And I don't really like drama because it's
Mm-hmm.
like life is too short for drama, Let's like celebrate life, let's enjoy. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like
Mm-hmm.
the type of person.
I mean, honestly, judging from the show, I did not think that
Mhm.
you were the drama lover type. I just felt
Mhm.
like you were telling the truth that nobody wanted
Yeah.
to say. Yeah,
Mhm.
and
Very
that to me is
honest.
very strong. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's very strong. Outside of designing, what keeps you grounded? What keeps you excited about life?
Definitely I'm lucky because I love my job. I love fashion. I said it, fashion is the reason why I wake up every morning. So yeah, it's like I'm one of those people where I consider myself lucky because I go to bed every night loving what I do, and I wake up every night looking forward to what I've been doing for that day. So,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I love that. And what's the ultimate dream?
oh, the ultimate dream, definitely a lot. There's
Mm-hmm,
not just
mm-hmm.
one ultimate dream, so a
Yeah,
lot. Like,
yeah.
I want to see a VJ Floresca creation in a Met Museum. I
Mm-hmm,
want to
mm-hmm.
be part of the Met Gala, create something for a celebrity in the Met Gala. I want someone who would win Best Actress in the Oscar
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Awards wear a custom VJ
Wearing VJ
Floresca.
Floresca.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like those kind of dreams that seems impossible, but I think, everything is possible as long as you're working with the right people, you're being professional
Mm-hmm,
in
mm-hmm.
showing them that you're a good person. I think that everything can happen.
Mm-hmm. And despite all the challenges, all of these challenges that you've been through, the so many years of, auditioning and all of that, what's the one mantra that keeps you going? Is there anything that you hold dear?
Yeah, definitely a lot of those is really telling people that don't let rejection stop you from what you want.
Mm-hmm,
Because if you
mm-hmm,
let rejection stop you from what you want, they win. So don't
mm-hmm,
let them
mm-hmm,
win. You should win. So if someone says no, okay, move on because someone will say yes. Or if they say you're not good enough,
Mm-hmm,
Don't
mm-hmm.
believe them. Don't believe these people because you are good enough. You are
Yeah.
worth it and you are capable of being successful. So don't let those rejections affect you from moving forward.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. A lot of the, there are a lot of aspiring designers in the Filipino community, not just back home, but, around the globe. Certainly here in the UAE, we have budding, Filipino designers.
Mhm.
Please, can you address them and give them your best advice? Say something that's going to excite them, whatever you've learned, whatever you can share.
Yes, so if you're a Filipino designer and you are working for somebody else, take that opportunity to learn everything because fashion is also about experience. It's not always about creativity, it's also about experience. So learn everything and save money. And then if you have the money and all your savings, then maybe that is the opportunity for you to start your own brand. I mean, it's important that you work for other people because like I said, like it helps you and it gives you that experience that you will never get from anybody else. So use that experience and everything that you can learn from that job. And once you have that, then maybe it's now the timing for you to have your own business, to have your own brand, because there's that satisfaction that money
Mm-hmm,
can't
mm-hmm.
buy when people appreciate you because of your name, because of your brand. So if you want to become a designer who's like that, who have your, if you want to become a designer with your own brand, then that's my advice for you.
Exactly. Nothing like it. Nothing like having your own brand name, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, VJ, for being part of today's Illustrada Talks. And VJ, we're so excited to see your collection at New York Fashion Week coming up. I'm going to be waiting and waiting and waiting. And yeah, let us know how we can support you. We're going to share the links to your website and all of that on this post. But before you go, I only have one last question. If
Yes.
you were a Filipino ulam, what would you be?
Oh my
Anong
God,
klaseng
definitely.
ulam si VJ Floresca?
Definitely, I am Bicol Express
Of
because
course, with all
I'm,
the chilies.
yeah, because I'm spicy and I'm not for everybody. So it's like I am not for everybody. And Bicol Express is not for everybody. Some people love Bicol Express, some people don't. And that's why I am a Bicol Express because I'm spicy and I'm not for everybody. And if you like me, you're going to eat a lot of rice. So I am a
If I,
Bicol Express.
I'm not for everybody, but that's okay.
Yes, exactly.
I love it. Thank you so much, VJ, and more power to you. All the best. Hope to see you soon someday, whether in this part of the world or that part of the world. But thank you
Yeah.
so much
I
for
mean, if you're
being
in
a
New
part of
York, let me
Illustrated
know.
Talks.
Yes.
I'll,
Bye-bye. Thank
I'll,
you
I'll
so
take you
much.
up on that. All right. Thank you
Yes.
so much, VJ. All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.